Hello, I mentioned on the last two videos that I would prove to you that it's human energy that is powering everything, and it's right in front of you, but not many see it. And the other part of it is imagination creates reality. That can be seen quite clearly as well. So let's start with the first bit. So we have one of these, a €10 note. It could be any banknotes, or it could be a piece of paper where I just write out basically saying my word is my bond. It can't do anything. It's stationary basically. It's just a thing. Where it gets its power is in the concept and the belief. So €10, just for argument's sake, 2 jars of coffee. So I exchange that, so it's just an exchange. It doesn't even need to be backed with gold. It works quite well, and it did work quite well when it was between individuals, but like everything else, it's been centralized and it's been hijacked. Now the second part, imagination creates reality. Imagine the scenario. We use the UK as an example because it's a repeated true story. A couple of people remember the old steam trains. They have this vision to reopen that line, and 50, 60, 70 years later, it's become a thriving heritage centre. So we could take the Bluebell Railway, we could take, I don't know, the Tallinn Railway, the Severn Valley Railway, you name it. It's not just railways, but I'm just using that as an analogy. When you consider what it takes to restore one steam locomotive, then of course you've got all the infrastructure, the track that it runs on, the ballasting of the track. But it's built on a solid foundation. A shout out to all those navvies, those navigational engineers who created those embankments, who created those cuttings, those tunnels, built those bridges. So they're building a track. It's no different really from the spiritual path. But look at it like a railway engineer. You don't need to build a bridge if you can find an easier route for yourself. Why make it difficult for yourself? But it is a journey from one place to another place. But of course, you're not going anywhere really. You're enjoying the moment. It's what Alan Watts calls a dance. But anyway, getting back to the topic of the railways, just imagine going from that position of a vision, which has now become a collective vision of volunteers. I'm going to put a link in the description to a channel called WightWanderer, and just showing in one afternoon when people come together what they can achieve. And as testimony to this is all these working museums and things, when there is the will and the desire and coming together collectively, it becomes phenomenal. And what would seem impossible of, I want to see this railway line reopened with steam trains running up and down carrying people, becomes a reality. Because it's something they feel passionate about, it is something they put heart and soul into, it is something they collectively believe in. And you are, after all, whether you recognise it or not, a co-creator. So there is co-creation being shown to you in this material realm of what can be achieved. Just consider how much it costs to buy the land, to restore the old railway station, then restore the track bed, to have the... I just could keep going on and on about this, but I feel you get the picture from that. So it is not even hidden. It is shown in this material world that things are possible. And I want to take you beyond that. I invite you to join the members only section of this video, if you feel so inclined. Now, whether you feel inclined is whether you listen to the language of your gut, whether this resonates with you. But what is coming, and it's something I've described a long time ago in video as being like a CAT scan, something that will sweep through everything. What it is going to come down to is the vibration or the frequency that you are on. If you are in a negative vibration, you are going to attract something very negative towards you, and it will be an apocalypse. But if you have found the Yahweh inside that says, go out and kill the multitude in my name, what it's actually referring to on the inside is all those cells in the body that the thoughts have turned into something very negative, and you're now in a negative state. That's what you want to kill or transmute and turn them into, renew them. In other words, you remember who you are, because you're not being dismembered, you are remembering, you are putting yourself back together. You are coming together as one with inside yourself. Now there's a saying about you can't change the world, but what is your perception of the world? Yes, there is a collective background scene. This is the computer game that we're in. You're like a character in the game. But within that world, it's wheels within wheels, because every individual has a little world of their own, and it's often an expression used about people, oh, they're in a world of their own. Well, they are. You can change those individual worlds with something as simple as a smile, a random act of kindness, a good deed, not expecting anything in return, but it will come back. Always expect the unexpected. So, I know who I am, and the whole idea of my members only section is to offer you the ways to find it inside yourself, so you will be able to witness a closing of a chapter, an epoch collapse rather than a negative apocalypse. It's up to you which experience you wish to have. That's your free will, but I know which one I would choose. And like I've said on videos before, I have to put myself through this experience so I can talk from a position of experience rather than as a concept. So I've even said this morning, come on universe, bring it on, what's next? You've thrown panic attacks at me, you've thrown depression at me, you've thrown anxiety at me, you've thrown a hernia at me. I've overcome all this. So imagine, because time loops, how about being a druid? You go out on that battlefield, you encounter military-industrial complex. It doesn't matter if they fire a tank shell at you, instant karma. Because your aura will be so strong, that's going to bounce back. Your own toroidal field will be so strong once you unlock what is inside yourself. If you have a perception of this reality, that everything seems stacked against you, that's the whole purpose of this game. It's the ultimate challenge. It is a diagnostic zone. So do you want to die agnostic, or do you want to find the gnosis, the knowing is, the knowing I spirit that is inside you? It is your core programming that is in these physical avatars. It is made an extra challenge. It's not easy to unlock it, because there is a whole Maya, a mirror of illusions that the nervous system is plugged into that makes all this seem very real. I'm just coming from a different perspective, but basically reiterating what Neville Goddard says, what Jason Brashears of Archaics channel is showing. This computer game, and this is thanks to Jason for unlocking this part of it, one day to God is 1,000 years here. So if you keep halving that, so 500 years is like 12 hours. Half that, you get 6 hours, which is 250 years, and you take it down, take it down, take it down, And most people are just playing this game inside this construct from outside, i.e. your higher self. You're playing this game for the maximum of about 2 hours. There are those that have gone mad and have fell into the game and have played far too long. And even in this material realm, that has been reflected. I think it was a Japanese guy, maybe in the States. He couldn't leave this computer game alone. And he played it for days and days and days. And he dropped down dead because it was an overload. Because he'd sunk so far into this reality. And I really don't want you to get stuck. There is a soul trap aspect. But of course it is a perspective. It is those that have stayed in the game with that virtual headset on, which is like the third eye. It's about finding the balance. So you're observing with these two eyes, and then you're projecting out onto this background scene with a third eye. It is, from the outside of the construct, it is your virtual headset for playing this game. So there is no death. There is no end to this. It's the never-ending story. But just consider what a beautiful time to be here, because there is a massive change coming. In some ways, I'd say long overdue, but it is coming, and it is all accounted for. All you've got to do, if you so choose, is decide, do you want to see an apocalypse or an epoch collapse? Do you want to witness it, or do you want to experience the negative one? That is entirely down to you. But I'm here to help you unlock the I am that is inside you, that is the one thing that is going to get you through this, so you witness rather than experience. Because you really don't want to do that. So, the choice is yours. I invite you to contact me direct, and I hope this resonates, and I hope from what I've explained it has uplifted you, because every random act of kindness raises the vibration slightly. It does change individual worlds in things you can do to help others, but remember, it's always oxygen mask on self first, because it's shown with a plane, because it's up in the sky. So it is reflecting. It's about seeing things from the higher perspective, because you cannot be in service to others. That's what it's about. It is being in service to others. But it has to start from within oneself. It is all an inside job. That is very much reflected in this external reality. So the offer is there. And from my own experience, I wholeheartedly recommend get involved with the Archaics Underground. That won't cost a fortune. What you'll get out of it is going to help you unlock so much. I'm taking an active part in it, because it is about taking active steps. It doesn't have to actually be physical actions as such, but it comes back full circle to that piece of paper, that banknote. It doesn't do anything, does it? It requires human energy to do something with it. It is human energy that is the power source of this entire reality. It's not untrue what is being shown in the Matrix. It's just one perspective of showing it. But it also shows you that the seance of science, the science fiction, is not a fiction. The fiction is when you nail yourself to a dogma, to a belief system, you nail yourself to a cross, and you are crucified with the two robbers, which is worrying about the past and worrying about the future, instead of experiencing the now. Because you will resurrect and you will lift off of that cross, because you will let go of all this materialism. It's so simple, and yet the beauty of this game, it looks to be so difficult. But once you come to that realization, which is the balance between the two physical eyes and the mind's eye, you're also forming a sort of pyramid as well. Just think about that. And the spiritual downloads, is that not like the chief cornerstone is descending? The stone the builders rejected is because in this context it's not even a physical stone. I'll leave you to ponder that, and Just know that there is an open invitation for those that wish to see the epoch collapse as opposed to the apocalypse. So with that, I'm going to say unconditional love to you all, and just weigh things up inside yourself. Listen to that internal language of the gut. If you feel this resonates, then get involved. If you don't, then no hard feelings. It is your choice what you do. So with that, yes, unconditional love to you all.